So after eating all that chocolate last week for Valentine's, I figured this week let's go a little healthy. So this week we're going to make a sweet potato, kale, and shrimp skillet. So I've got some shrimps thawed out in the bowl. We've got some kale, we got some sweet potatoes, we got an onion. Real simple recipe. Hit that subscribe button and let's do a little prep work here on Cook! Don't be lazy! The prep work on this is real easy. By the way, sweet potatoes, they look real funny. Look nothing like a regular potato. But we want to skin it, peel it, whatever you want to call it. For those who have never worked with a sweet potato, and I say this only because this is only my second time ever using sweet potato, they're funny looking. And they're kind of pinkish in color. So I'll finish doing this off camera, but what we're looking for is 2 sweet potatoes, cut up, diced up, just like that. Fresh is best, but I couldn't find any today, so I'm using frozen shrimp that I've thawed out. Alright, these are medium size, deveined, and I've already pulled off the tail. Half an onion, dice it up. Kale. Now, this is my first time working with kale, so I'm assuming we don't want these stem pieces. So I've never used kale, but common sense says we don't want these big stem pieces. So I've eliminated them. So just the leaves, little pieces, cut it up, shred it up with your hands. We need about, I don't know, 3 cups worth. So the prep work for this sweet potato, kale, and shrimp skillet dish is very simple. Speaking of skillet, take out your cast iron skillet and set your stove to medium. So we're going to add some olive oil. Maybe 2 teaspoons I should say, or a good tablespoon, whatever. Eyeball it. That's what I always say. Get this mixed around. We're gonna wait a minute for this to heat up. Once we think this is preheated, or hot enough, I shouldn't really say, yeah, preheat, hot, whatever. You know what I mean. Nice and hot. Throw in your onion. Crushed red pepper. Not too much, otherwise your mouth is going to be going pica, pica, pica. We're going to cook this for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, these onions are smelling good and looking good. They got a nice little brown coloring to it. It's been about 4 minutes. Minced garlic. Eyeball it. About a good tablespoon, 2 teaspoons. I don't even know the translation if 2 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. Either which way, that much garlic. Cook this for a few seconds. Throw in our sweet potato. You know what? I'm not going to use all of them. All of it. A little less than 2 sweet potatoes. Remember, sweet potatoes vary in size, so you got to eyeball it. You don't want this to be too crowded. Now, potatoes are going to take a bit to cook. So to help it, I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of water. And you're going to see what I'm about to do. So technically this isn't the right cover for this, but it fits and it works. So I'm going to cover it up for about 3 minutes or so just to help that water steam up the potatoes and help them cook a little bit faster. So around the 3-minute mark, I'm going to take the lid off. Here I am making a mess. Slowly going to stir. I'm going to continue to cook this. How long? I'll be honest with you guys, this is my first time making this, so I'll let you know as soon as I figure out how long it's going to take to cook up these potatoes. What I'll do here in about 10 minutes is stick a fork in it and see if they're done. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know how long to cook it for so that you guys don't have to experiment. So after a couple of stirs here and there, surprisingly, it didn't take that long. I thought for sure it'd be like a regular potato and take forever to cook, but guess not. I'm looking like an extra 5 minutes. So maybe 8 to 10 minutes total cook time for when I threw in the potatoes. 3 minutes underneath the lid. And another 5 minutes or so without the lid. But the potatoes look done, surprisingly. So that being said, let's throw in our shrimp because shrimp don't take long to cook at all. Give it a nice stir. Let's salt it. Some pepper. So we're just going to let the shrimp cook. We know the shrimp is done when the shrimps are pink. Won't take but not even 5 minutes, I guess. Stir every now and then. And when the shrimps are done, we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so let me explain. Like I said, this is the first time I've made this. So one little mistake I caught is I had to take some shrimps out because there was just way too many shrimp in here. So instead of using a full bag of shrimp, use a little less. That way the shrimps cook a little bit better. Alright, that being said, last step. Let's throw in our kale. Where's this guy going? Get back in there. So we're just going to cook down our kale. Stirring it until it wilts. We're going to set our stove on low. And we're just going to stir and wait for that kale to wilt. And then it'll be time to plate up. I don't know what your opinion is, but mine, this belongs in a restaurant. I've already tasted it. Tastes pretty good. Looks amazing to me. So I'm going to get back to eating this, and I'll see you guys next week here on Cook. Don't be lazy.